So that's the kind of traditional scene. This is a modern take on the Bender. Fellow Dr. Daniel Baker, he was a Romany gypsy in England. He's got a workshop in Kent. In his background there was tinsmithing. Of course that's died out. He's done his degree in fine arts. He's now a PhD chap. And he's trying to use the metalwork skill because he's using the enamel and silver to do this with on the mirrors. And so it's a bit like the old world and the new world meeting. A new take on the old icon and the teeth. So that's the whole idea of the tent permeating the whole thing. If you can see from most of Seamus's paintings you find. These stories all illustrate the difficulties faced with the community in getting access and services, and how difficult it is to get basic things like water, electricity, where to stop. The lady with her leg cut off there, she couldn't get Charlene over there, that lady, she's got a disabled sister. It took her 7 years to get an adoption. Kitty, she was the first Scottish woman to be in the Houses of Parliament, the first being Lady Astor, but she was the first Scottish one, and she was quite political and progressive and go ahead. And during the war there was something called the Departmental Committee on Tinkers, and that ran from the First World War right up to the Second, after the Second, and she used to go around and interview them. And during the Second World War they had the idea that if they were to get this separation allowance from the husband who was in the war, then they had to be housed. So the idea of sedentarising them. So they would all go to the houses in Perth, Thimble Road, and they were all in there, and they were interviewed by her, and she said something about travellers to one of them. And she said, I'm not a traveller, I'm a gypsy, would you mind addressing me correctly to the Duchess? And she wrote that down because it was so stark. And she said she didn't realise we were gypsies in Scotland. And then she did some homework and said, you know, there's been people recorded speaking part of Sanskrit and Hindi and all the Romany languages over in Argyllshire, famous Egyptologists. So that's in the book that's there. This is my grandfather from Wick, Stuart Whitby. He was in the Highlands, from there, my granny. And his nickname was Baldy because during the First World War in the trenches he got such a shock and he took his helmet off, he hadn't a stick of hair left. And so everyone called him Baldy after that. And he said that at the Battle of the Somme in Ypres, that there were so many people killed. He swore blind there was a flock of angels came down and they were all crying around the people, and he was the only one of the other ones on the other side did. And after the war, I think the way he coped with the war is he was a bit of a practical joker. And there's one very telling story that my father always told about, and after the war they were out in the Bender tent that we've just been talking about in Sutherland, and he had a cousin called Mary Ann, and she was 22 and she couldn't get a man, and that was dreadful. She was 24, that was it. Sell by date up. And she was moaning about it, so they were curling her hair with pipe cleaners, and they used to put Converse crystals in the hair to make it look really bonny and dark, you know. And they did the rest of them. My father said she had a face like Shergar the horse, so all the photos he saw. So after when they were camped there, he said to her one day when she was crying, why can I not get a man? He said, I'll tell you how to get a man, you'll know who you're going to marry. He says, make an open bannock and make it hot and put it in your underwear and run 3 times round the tent, and then he says urinate in the pail, and up in the morning you'll see the face. So she went and made this open bannock, roasting hot, stuck it in her underwear, and then she only got halfway round the tent. She had to dive into the burn, pull the underwear down, and she was splash, splash, splashing in front of everyone, and them all laughing at her because immediately it was a taboo. And there was so much steam, my dad said it was like an old chimney starting up because she was that burnt down below. And from that day on, all the Caithness travellers called her Burnt Box. He was in the Black Watch and the Seaforth Hounders because when he first enlisted, he was tells you here he was wounded there at the 13th of Remission, wounded, and then wounded again because they put him out of one and they put a metal plate in his head. He went and joined the other one. So he went back because he said he loved the military. And when he came out of the military, he didn't have the same structure in his life. He missed it. And he took to drinking, and I remember when he was very small, the trick he taught me, if you need to get money, take the laces out of your shoes and go and say, have you any pens for laces? I've lost the laces from my shoes. So we used to go around doing this so I could get money for bags of can and toffees and Jack desserts and things, till my mother cottoned on. But the social department heard about this and they thought he had dementia, so they put social workers in. At the age of 80 odd, they took him down to Coolindara, which was a home at that time. It's a toy museum latterly, but it was a home at Logie Ray. And in there he met up with a cousin from Portendale who'd been rounded up too. He was a keen cyclist. So they used to regularly steal bikes and abscond, and the police would come looking for, we called them leagues. And one time they came and they got him. He was always at some camp getting a drink or a local hostelry, and he said, but we can't understand, can you explain how you're managing to break out of here? So he said, oh, we get the break out of here, it's easy for an old soldier that used to regularly break out of the trenches and go for a wee dram. That was his answer to the police. What he's saying is a question, they were all dismissed as being mentally ill, and because they might have had shell shock or post-traumatic stress disorder, which a lot of the veterans coming back today are. They're eating out of food bins and going to food banks, and nobody's paying any attention. So this was, some people objected to that, but why? I mean, they're about to have some issues, having been in the First World War and seen what they did. I think it would only be natural you'd come back and be affected. So that's what this exhibition's about. These are the booklets. And that's my great-grandfather on my mother's side there. He was a piper in the Argyll and Southern Highlanders. There was the Black Watch, I can't remember, and that's when he left, standing piping by Aberfeldy roadside to make some money. But again, that's outlawed now because we don't like busking. You know, busking, we used to have to get a busker's permit. And one of the brothers and his wife, the brother was keen on the tipple, and it was VP and Crown at that time. They had to pay for the busker permit, for the hawker's permit. And he paid for the busker's permit. We're standing down in a lay-by near Perth, and she's selling Lucky White Heather, and he was piping. The police came up, and the laugh of it was, as the police said, let's see your daughter. She went, oh, ask my man. He said, oh, I don't know where they are. So she got lifted. So she took the box with the money, and she scattered it up and down the road, and he was diving up and down the road to get it, and he says to the policeman, oh, take my wife to the Starbase, she's really hardy, she'll manage. So she's away in the car, and he's away with the money gathering it off the road, because he didn't bother paying for it. So Lucky White Heather wasn't very lucky for her, because she's the one that got lifted in the end. The couple and the one at the top there, when they first came to the town about 79-80, they stayed in a little hut up off Kyle Farm going into the woods near the burn. Travellers traditionally stayed there. And while they were there, winter came on, and he had a big coat that was got in some army show somewhere, Fort William or somewhere, and it was Russian Navy, and he had a hat on. It's just a grey, heavy, coarse type stuff, you know, like a blanket. Yeah. And anyway, he had a cap, and it was Russian Navy, and he was wearing that with a pullover. And when they were walking up and down the town, they were talking in really broad, strong cant, which is the language, you know, the gypsy language. And they were talking with a very pronounced Caithness accent. And people all panicked because they thought they were Russian. And they were saying, oh, the Russians have come, there's Russians in the town, Russians, and we're all getting in a state of fear and alarm. And I said, it's not Russians, it's relatives, and my dad, don't panic, they're only from Wick.
Anyway.
How do you think it went, Seamus?
I enjoyed it. I don't know about anybody else, but you know, I can only talk as an individual. I certainly thought it was a thoroughly enjoyable day. One or two minor technical hiccups and things I wasn't aware of, but you can't always legislate for them.
Brilliant.
You've just got to go with the flow and take, what you're dealt on the day, cards you're dealt.
Yeah. What did you think of the event as a whole?
I really enjoyed it. It was great hearing people's stories, and for me, what I continue to think is that Gypsy Traveller history, it needs to be written and rewritten. It's sort of missing. So, but a lot of optimism in the room and things to build on. I don't know what else to say.
Did you learn anything new about the community?
I learned lots of new things.
Right.
Yeah, to be a whole variety of people in that room.
Right, and you think it's a good mix?
It seemed to be a bit of a mix, yeah.
Okay, that's great then.
I can't find the words, but just that there's all that local history is kind of hidden, and it would be great to get historians to pull that out and bring it together and
also
make it visible and known.
The artifacts would be really good to display them a bit more.
Yeah, and prominence.
Real things rather than just have documents. So.
Yes.
Yeah, make it real and make it about local communities.
Yeah, and about the,
which is what you're doing today, I think.
The Gypsy Traveller community itself.
Yes.
And then hopefully we'll get it in comparison with the other Indigenous communities as we're going along, with the parallels.
Yeah.